Hello, 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 Division 1 and everyone joining us. We are live for round 1. Welcome to the VOD viewers. As always, I hope you had an amazing day. If not, let's make it. So far, 16 drivers on the grid. Quite a few ticking attendance. It's another incredible season of HRA. I personally can't wait to get started. I've been hyped for this for days. Right, the chat is now open. Hello, hello, Raven. Yeah, at least McLaren got reserves. I was going to say, a lot of differing driver lineups. We've got quite a few reserves in today. Only team without a full lineup is Ferrari. Of course, them only having Hampan. But curiously, after last season, season 8 to season 9, there is only 3 drivers who remain in their old seat, which is quite frankly incredible. And one of them owns the team, so you'd kind of expect them to stay there. And of course, Aston. Max is Aston through and through, always will be. My fellow caster and commentator. And as well, Intronsic sticking with Alpine for the future. Lots of changes, but the same HRA. And hopefully the same quality of racing. Australia doesn't tend to produce many bangers, but for all but Monaco, when I say that, we tend to have an absolute classic. So I will let this league do its thing. Now 18 drivers on this grid, despite a lot of reserves being used. That's quite incredible. We've got the likes of Pickle being moved up as well. A lot of people being promoted full-time to this division to give it a go in the big time and shoot for the Division 1 title. Speaking of, hello, hello. Is Kusky here? Kusky, you in, bro? You here, bro? Nah. We've had 7 champions in HRE's history, and I was correct about Maz a couple seasons ago. Only 2 back-to-back champions in Div 1, and only one driver with 2 championships is Mr. Maslan. Not sure whether he's on the grid or not today. I think he should be for a season opener. You'd hope, at least. No, he hasn't turned up yet. Oh yeah, Red Bull, making it big time. There's a couple weird patterns that I want to point out at the start of the season. There's 3 outcomes. It gets broken, obviously. Or only one of them gets broken, but which one? So the patterns are, we got Mercedes have won the last 3 Division 1 titles in the hands of Maz back-to-back. Last win on F122, first win on 23, and then George last time out. And for the last 2 seasons in a row, the man who has finished second goes on the next season to win the title. So the runner-up will take the title next year. And that would be Kusky. He's worked his way up the ladder. 3rd, 2nd. Does man count to 3? Backwards, obviously. Red Bull versus Aston Martin is the prediction from Quattro in chat. I'd say so as well. They've got an extremely strong lineup, but do not count Maslan out. He may not have killer race pace or killer quali pace, but he's got a smart head. But I'm not sure he's in attendance today, which is a bit of an issue. Also, my internet has been ropes today, so let me know if the stream starts freezing for you. If multiple people start reporting it, I will lower the quality down to 480p because I'd rather the stream not be jumpy as hell for the VOD. and have lower quality. Maz only showing up for half the races. That might be a bit of an issue. Quite a few names in here. David Deuce, Hampan, Ash, Kusky, Pickle, and Tronzik. Just seeing if there's any that Ford. I'm not going to start yelling, oh, Femboy's gone round the outside. Oh, Femboy's got up the rear. Because now that sounds mad. Well, not personally speaking. Fucking hell, could you imagine? I've got off the rails, mate. Season's not even started. Hello, Kinjo. A new name in Division 1. Driving for McLaren. So I'm guessing you are Sam. Lazy Edvir, Dead. Jaden Ford. Okay. Alright, let's go on from whatever the hell kind of off the rail shit I was talking about there and go on to the race. We have 2 minutes before the usual call to ready up. And we have a short qualifying session. Sammy do. Alright. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, we have someone Haw Ash, HAW ACK, and he likes Haw Ash, and I was calling him Hawak for about a year. Literally a year, and then he told me, so thank you for telling me out the butt and not tanking it. Yes, welcome to Division 1. You are gonna, I believe, league debut as well. You are gonna enjoy this place. I've been league racing in and out since F1 2019, midway through, so probably about this time 4 years ago. Kendra cooking, indeed. Alright. Yeah, and honestly, in my 4 years, I don't think I've seen a league as entertaining and clean as this one. It has its moments, like all leagues, where, oh my god, general incident discussion, DMs, it kicks off, and everyone throws a hissy and throws the toys out the pram. Every league will have that every now and then. Haas boys, yes, that I can get behind. But this league, I've been commentating on for over a year now. Over a year. And I gotta say, normally commentary ain't my thing, but I prefer racing, but oh boy, this league does it. If you want to watch a race that sums up this league, watch the season finale, not from season 8, but from season 7. So Maz versus George. That, for me, was my personal favourite race in terms of drama. And then you got Hungary in that same season, Division 2, that was an absolute, round 7 I believe it was an incredible race. It's races like that you'll get at least 1 or 2 a season per division, and it's just, it's good. Gordon Ramsay, let bro cook. Ganger cooking, yes. I think Gordon would be an absolute goated league name, like SLR Gordon. Like, nah, I'll scrap that one. Beautiful. Nice to see it. There might be another hand in the title fight, because it's been Kusky, George, and Maz for the last 3 seasons. No one else has had a sniff of the title. Will this be the season? Because Maz is unable to attend today. And in terms of constructors, there's been 6 constructors champions. 2 of them having a double to their belt, Red Bull and Williams. Williams had their heyday a couple seasons ago. They've since dropped off because it's Williams, but incredible. If you want to drive for one person as your team manager, it better be Ironland. He's the lovely bloke who introduced me to this league, and for that I'll always be thankful. Incredible driver. Found his form towards the, I believe it was, latter end of 2 seasons ago. It sort of dropped a little bit last season as people caught up. Kev, I don't actually ever think no, I have seen you wearing a mask in a picture before. That was it. So I know that I know Victoria's Secret, if you will. Quattro about to pull a Verstappen and dominate. Either Quattro or Kuski going to pull a Verstappen and win the Constructors' Championship. Yeah, that was like literally 3 years ago, mate. Literally 3 years ago. Alright. I'm so excited. As we start this season, will we get a 3-time champion? We don't even have another 2-time champion. Only one exists in HRA. His name is Maz. We might not get it because he's not going to turn up to half the bloody races. Will we get George elevate himself up to that status? I'll probably overtake him in the GOAT debate for this league because, well, George is, in my opinion, raw pace the better, but he needs to work on his strategic mind. But as we start qualifying, I am going to get all of the mouse and keyboard and everything set up. Just knock my HDMI cable. That's a good way to start. Alright, no mouse and keyboard it looks like for today because it ain't working. So we're going back to the old ways. First car out on Trackman. Last year's runner-up, who's just been overtaken by his AlphaTauri from Patriot. That will be... Gosh, where are the AlphaTauri? Rules, I believe. Not rules. It is Ash. Ash, an incredible driver. Hasn't quite found his feet in this league, but back in the realistic days when I used to race this league, me and Ash used to go toe-to-toe as, oh my god, I didn't actually think his username would be Fortnite Balls. But he's only gone and done it. I even wrote his name down on the team sheet as his linked Steam account or Spotify account, RXC4. But Fortnite Balls has arrived. We are blessed with his presence. For the true GOAT has appeared. Alright then. Got the bullshit. Ash on a lap. Absolutely sending it here. A little wide of the apex there. Head towards a flat right-hand turn. Incredibly sketchy on last year's game. Still bad on this game. You can see the rear end rotating. Australia now, I forget, an incredibly high-speed track. That used to be a very, very awkward ride of the curb, but now it is just an absolute slingshot of a corner. Propels you down the straight. And Ash looking to get the first flying lap of the season on the board. It's beautiful through the S's as as he heads now down towards the corner where Alonso went straight on his possibly pole lap in 2022. Ash navigates it nicely. Me and himself had had an incident at that corner and this corner before. No such worry in qualifying though. He doesn't have a crazy Apollo on the racetrack, and that, I'm sure, will be his single motivation as he goes wide. While saying that, clips the wall but keeps it valid because of the time loss. 1:18.6, the first time of the season. Let's see who can follow it and with what time. Pickle on a flyer as well as we look to the timing board. Anyone else improving? I think Kuski might have invalidated in there, possibly gone for a second warm-up. Hampan goes to the top of the timing board in the Ferrari. 1:18 flat, that's more like it. 1:16.6 for Kuski. There you go. That is the mind-boggling pace of the top of the top. As Lazy retires from the session, there's been an incident somewhere up the grid. Let's see if I can get an onboard here. Oh, big crash down the straight. Okay, Intronsic and Lazy must have had a massive entanglement. Sorry, my brain went back. That's such a bad mispronunciation. But yeah, there must have been some kind of entanglement there. And both of them out of qualifying before they even get a lap set. So, George goes fastest at hundredths of a second quicker than Kuski. These two have been getting closer and closer as the seasons go on. And last season's championship protagonists are showing why they were in their position. And this one's going to be a crucial one for penalties. Is the stream frozen for anyone else? Or is that just my gas connection on my phone? Yeah, in Division 2, all but 3 of the top 10, so 7 out of the top 10 had penalties that affected their race outcome. The win was decided by a penalty. Alonso the Acorn, how's it going? Quite well on a flying lap here in the Red Bull, extremely clean through the high-speed snake section. Very nice on the inside curve there. He's a little bit of the exit on this game. Couldn't last game, but using all the track to his advantage, flipping it down a gear. He's out of fuel now, and he will most likely dive into the pits here. Stream freezing for anyone else? Or is it just me who's having this issue? As Reese goes P3. Fifas goes P4. Jaden is P5. Hampan P6. First to set a lap time now has dropped all the way down to P12 as Lewis M goes up to P9. Fortnite Bulls, sorry, up to P7. I'm going to say the full name. Invalid 8:16.8. Possible as a banker. Strong there from Quattro. Will that be the difference between Red Bull and Aston this season? Just having that teammate there to gun for you is ultimately what can win titles. Saw it win Verstappen the title in 2021. And we've seen it time and time again. Mercedes versus Ferrari's fights, where having that second driver in the mix for a race was a huge, huge boost. As Fortnite on his in-lap, he's invalid. Jaden on a flyer here. No, starting a flying lap is Jaden. Going for a double. Fly, fast, slow, fast. Beefers will be into the pits this lap. Reese is not on a flyer, so it seems like Jaden is the driver to watch here. So here he goes. Heavy rotation on the rear end of these cars through there as he flicks it into this section. Lets the car dance on the apex. It's danced and danced and danced. And oh my goodness me, it's danced in the tango there for a second. Too many horses. Too ambitious on the right foot. And he goes for a pirouette. Any figure skater would be proud of. Unfortunately, we're not skating on ice here. We're driving on tarmac. And that is going to heavily hamper Jaden, as he may even go for another run here on this set of tyres that will be screaming for help after that spin. Pirouette that I would give a solid 8 out of 10. Zion still in the pits, probably having smoke. It's Sammy Do on a lap. Sammy Do. Well, we've got to learn it, you know. Controller player in the top flight. This is what we like to see. It's a little bit laggy, Sammy. Time trials must have been incredible for someone. The hardware that he's got. EA, maybe even a PC player. Mouse and keyboard. I've never seen a mouse and keyboard player in the top flight of a league before. That would be absolutely incredible as he's into the pits. He's currently sitting P9. Strong driving from the McLaren. His teammate Reese, though, is outshining him, but you'd have to say it won't be for too long. But yeah, Aston and Red Bull are solidly going to have both cars in the mix. I mean, Quattro, we know, is a driver who has incredible pace as Hampan. Unfortunately, we've caught that one on stream, bud. No front wing for you. Did not reset to track, though. Good on you, lad. Bit of banter in the chat between Stuart and Zoom. As taking the new and improved racing line. For when F1 eventually have to roll out all corners because of dirty air. Despite overtaking, not making great races. China 2016, most overtakes a racer's ever had up until this season, Netherlands. But that was just because of pure chaos. That was a good race, not because of overtakes, but because of the weather. But this one, China 2016, up till then, had the most overtakes. But does anyone actually remember China 2016 other than Kvyat doing his first 2 incidents that would lose him the seat, scoring his last podium in F1? Oh, sorry, not last podium, second to last as he got on the podium. Germany 2019, George goes fastest. It's only a couple hundredths improvement, but time is time. Time wins championships. Hey, come on, all right. I'm chilling, all right. Nah. I blame it on the energy drink. Starting to wear out, so I'm drinking a beer instead. All right, let's keep on top of this. Sammy's now dropped to P11. Lewis is on a flying lap. He is a 10th up on his current time, hugging the inside line, because it's not line of least resistance, it's line of least distance in this game. If this was me out in my go-kart, I would be taking the line where I scrub the front at least to hold momentum. That's incredibly slidey on the front end there. Maybe need an adjustment to tyre pressure. Nicks a bit of slipstream, not much, but a little bit from that McLaren. Chucks it in here, putting in a lot of lock. Maybe the sliding because he needs a bit more front wing on there, or of course tyre pressure's too high, causing him to slide. That's my guess here for Lewis. Lower them by a couple clicks, my friend. Then you'll fly. Comes to the line. What's it going to be? Any improvement? He's up on the dash. And he's up on the timing board. Does not move up any places. Yellow flags for an Alpine in the last sector. Sammy on the flying lap, 600ths up here as he heads towards the section which arguably is the best section in the world. If you stand right behind as you're looking as if between the two of them when the car's straighten out for that second before you load up right. If you're looking at the back of the F1 cars, that is arguably the best camera angle in F1 or angle to be spectating. Never mind, it's the Monaco swimming pool section on lap 1. Quickly cancelled that one out, didn't I? As Sammy looking to move back up ahead of Lewis. Does, and then some. A very strong last sector from Sammy there. He's moved from P14 up to P10 in the top 10, of course. As we are now sort of in a small window just to reflect on it. And Lewis is going to have to do some reflecting on that because that is an absolute stinker on pit entry. He's pulled a Robert Kubica 2019 and then some. That's not the wall on entry, that is the pit attenuator. Bloodshot his eyes. No, I'm sorry, that's a little too much. No, Lewis, a little bit too strong on pit entry into the attenuator. Losing his front wing. But he won't worry about that. He'll worry about the fact that he's lost his dignity because that was caught on stream. Zylan's still yet to set a time. He'll probably head out right about now as you're getting the final wave of flying laps going to be started. Sammy won't get another lap on the board, so he will have to hope that this position is strong enough. He might actually just sneak another one in. Sorry for the pauses. Just changing my music. Ed Veer rejoins the session. Apologies for not inviting. I didn't even see you leave, mate. So here we go. First to start a lap is Ash, then blasting down the main straight. He's currently in P12. We'll cut to the leading pack as they start their laps. Quattro still unable to hook a lap up. If he can, it will surely be a top 3 if Reese holds firm. But for now, we're watching Ash, currently P12 for the AlphaTauri team. His teammate 2 positions down. He'll know that he kind of has him on lock here, but a 10th is not much these days as someone else moves up the standings, I believe. No, I'm seeing things. Pickle is a couple tenths off the back of the pack right now, so he'll be looking to improve on his lap that he's just started. We'll sort of softly follow that one, but Ash here, a couple hundredths behind Hampan. He really needs to break into the 17.8 for a chance at a top 10 here. Fuel light already on here. He's gone and used absolutely everything here for this lap. I haven't looked at the splits, but he's still in the lap and he would have had time to go again, so presumably this, he feels like, is the one for Ash towards the line. Goes P6, incredible, into the 17.8s and then some, right at the verge, at the cusp of the 7s. Wouldn't have made a difference to his position, but would have to his ego. Next across the line will be Pickle. Will follow with Maxwell on his lap. Actually, it's follow George, screw it. George at turn 1, so we've got more towards the line. Got Pickle to finish his lap. Does not improve. I'm going to have to keep a firm eye on the timing board here. So we've got cars coming to the line left, right and centre. Hampan starting to fly. His teammate does the exact same just moments after him. Sammy is going to be starting a firing lap momentarily. Reese just started it. Lewis starts his lap. Sammy then starts his lap. So this is Ireland starting his lap as well. Now we've finally got a Red Bull as Kuski is out of the session. Retired in the pits. Red Bull of Quattro goes P3. Strong lap as predicted. Not the time he would want, but it's the time he's got, and it's slotted in firmly into that position. Rules goes P6 at the checkered flag. Ended goes P9. Fortnite Balls P11. Edvir P16 checkered flagged. We will see these times tumble, crash, and topple, and then some. George, he's had a decent lap so far, but towards the line, will it be an improvement? Yes, it will. 16-3. Wow. The reigning champion looking to do it again at the top flight, and that is some lap to beat. Still got drivers crossing the line. Jaden hits the checker flag. Pickles hit the checker flag now as well. Both Ferraris heading towards the line. Will there be an improvement for them? One is into the pits, so it's towards Hampan, seeing if he can improve. No, checkered flag is out for Hampan. I'll cut to the Mercedes of Lewis as he rounds towards the line. He's invalid. McLaren behind him of Sammy. He's up and up to P7. What a lap. Yet again, Sammy finding incredible time in the last sector. There's been a spin further back for Reese. He will not improve his time. That's hurt people up and down the grid. Max unable to do a lap, so this is qualifying done then. Apologies for the chaos, I'm a little bit rusty. George, nonetheless, there's no rust there. He's done plenty of polishing and shining to his race pace. And you have to think with pace like that, it doesn't matter how his strategy works out. It's starting to shape up already like another season of George, but Kusky won't allow that because he's got his teammate firmly behind as a rear gunner. Maxwell unable to get into the fight with them. Half a second off of the late trailing Red Bull and a second off of his teammate then. We come towards the grid. I'm going to quickly pop to the throne. I'll be back in a second. Hello, hello. Right. What is everyone's predictions for this race? A lot of people are going to put themselves P1. But I don't care. I want to see what the rest of the podium would shake up as. What's your thoughts? Because personally, I think a safety car is going to make this race. That's bold prediction number one. A safety car will severely affect the outcome. It's Australia. Chaos and carnage reigns in real life and in game at this track. Especially at this new layout. Crashes happen a lot because it's not the best layout for side-by-side action. It wasn't before, but Maxwell has been disconnected then. Restart. Lobby restart. Thank you, Washed, for letting us know. Lobby restart, everyone. Will give me the time to restart my game and assign as the controller rather than the controller. Lobby restart. That resets tire allocation. Crucial for those who use the resets. They now have all of their sets of tires back. So soft tires will be reigning big. wouldn't be an F1 league race without the lack of quality in the EA servers being apparent. They say it will be better. Next game, I believe, is going to be a new gen game. Thank you, Ash, for the invite to the lobby. You absolute legend. We're going to hit spectate very, very quickly. Spectate. Yeah, I accepted that a while back, which is a good reminder to please God Almighty, send a friend request to this account. It's not for the purposes of clout for the account, it's because if you disconnect, we need to get you back ASAP. If you're on Xbox, HRA League, exact same as the EA username, send it a friend request, add it, it will add you back, I will add you back. And ping across a friend request if you are playing PlayStation or through EA Play or Steam. Because me personally, I enjoy watching racing. It's best to do that with all the players in. Oh yeah. And I will send friend requests to those who do not have this account added. Got you added, got you added. Lazy is not added. George, added Pickle, add as a friend. David. David or David as well? I know you're probably in chat. Oh, friends! Oh, F1 friends! Oh, friends! And Tronzik just needs to sort out the grid, select his car, and then we are golden here. Of course, wait for official word from the admins about readying up. One driver missing. Who is it? It's an Alpine driver, so it will be... Give me a second, let me bring the team sheet up, as your boy is prepared. Got to fire up the old laptop. We are missing Ended. So if anyone has Ended added, can they ping him over an invite? Let's get him in the lobby. Ash already on the case, look at that. I said it just as you put it in, but you know, if you heard it after, I'll blame it on stream delay. Once Ended is in, we can get going here. For round 1, season 9 HRA. For the big one, the top flight, division 1. Alright, yeah. Told everyone chat. Fair. Alright. Now we're getting into it. Predictions. I didn't see him earlier, so let's get him in. Let's get him in. I've just seen that message from Sammy. Question, Sammy. Are you a keyboard player? Just a bit of a random one. Alright. He is now in the session. Everyone's in their spots, so we're waiting for Intronsic to short out controller, I was going to say. Personally, I'd recommend going into the advanced controller settings and having a muck about. See if you can figure out something that will make the inputs a little more smooth. Yeah, I know. I saw the inputs, and they're quite, not to be insulting, but they're quite direct, as a nice word. So, yeah, go into advanced controller settings, have a muck about, because if you can get that smoothed out, pace would be straight up to the sky. As a very, very, very ex-controller player, back in 2016 I was playing on controller. Or early 2017. Smooth driving always is faster. Well, unless it's an early 2000s F1 car, in which case you got to lob it into the corner. But these cars like to be driven smooth. Controllers, not that bad, no. They are not. There are pro controller players. Completely forgotten the one who I used to watch. But there are some incredible players on controller. The skill ceiling is not as high. The precision just isn't there. Pardon me. But if you've got the talent, you've then got to figure out how to translate it through a controller rather than a force feedback wheel. You know, if I was on controller, I'd never be able to because my hand-eye coordination ain't there. But if you've got good hand-eye coordination and you're talented, that controller is going to be like a Fanatec DD2 to you. And ultimately, it's not what you got in front of you, it's what you put on track in pace. Don't matter if you're a controller player, if you're playing on, I don't know, BMW's bloody WEC simulator that Jeremy Broadbent was driving. It's all about the driver. And if anyone wants any coaching tips, as much as I'm not a big, up to date with the mechanics on this game, I know about the tyre warm-up trick. Of course, everyone does nowadays, but anything's with driving. Kusky needs an invite. Kusky needs an invite. Hello. No, don't leave the session. Bloody Nora. Friends. Not saying he's online. I'll invite him anyway. Come on, where is he? Am I blind? No, I've just seen it. It says he's offline at the moment. Yeah. Huh. This has been a strange one, definitely. But it's round one. I've got plenty of waffle. Plenty of material. Speaking of, oh, it's restarting. While we're waiting, I don't know. Something about Gunter Steiner, whatever. Nah. For real though, it's a shame that we lost Gunther Steiner out of F1 because, yeah, from what I understand, over at Haas, Gene Haas is making a return on his investment just by the F1 team being on the grid. Thank you, Kusky. But he's making the return for Haas CNC just by being on the grid and the sponsors. So he's letting the team be run into the ground. He don't care. As long as they've got 2 cars racing around, they get an exposure. And their name is out in one of the biggest sports on the planet. But Gunther wanted to push the team forward, push to get further up in the championship, to get more money, in Gene's pocket, to get more money then into the team. And the cycle repeats until Haas is back where they were in 2018. A genuine threat. And then they can get their own facilities and basically work their way up the ladder, just like Williams are doing. But Haas hasn't got people, it hasn't got the budget, and it hasn't really got people who are good at developing. There's a team in Maranello of ex-HRA engineers from Ferrari, but they're working with chassis developed by Dallara, so they've not developed the chassis in-house. They're working with Ferrari parts they've not designed, so they're not working with them, they're working around them. And the characteristics of the Ferrari are just made 10 times worse in the Haas. Hence, their issues with rear tyre temperatures in 2019, Ferrari having that issue on a much, much minute scale. There are issues in 2020 with engine, of course. 2021, just recent issues with tyres. And then absolutely melting. Is all because Ferrari have them characteristics, so Haas have them 10 times worse. Yeah, I'll get more fun. Setups, yes. Ash, man, you don't say that sort of stuff, you know? Take the lead by turn 1 if everyone else forgets their setups, but no. Jokes aside, good reminder in the chat. Hello! There is Mr. Grand Prix winner. Winner from Division 2. He'll know all about this track and all about how much penalties matter. I'm going to say it. Said it once, and I'll say it a million more times. All but 3 of the top 10, so 7 of them got penalties, and it decided the race winner because A5 kept his nose clean and won the race. And he's in the chat saying hello. I had a sort of short, like 25 minutes to skim through it while I was doing my notes. I'm going to type this in chat so I don't say it aloud and embarrass myself. No, I'm not going to. Never mind. Aww. Bit of banter in the chat. Friendly banter. Nah, that's... Aw. Yeah. Honestly, no bias here. Definitely not. Been mates with Quattro for 4.5 years now, but they just keep him in the team, innit? But deadass, you have the single best driver lineup on the grid. Right, I've said it twice already. Come on, predictions. How's this one gonna go? Don't say Mercedes 1-2, Mr. Horner. Don't do it. Nah. There is a chance of that, genuinely. Now it's going full on banter in the chat. Alright. Come on. Just waiting for the start of the race. Do we see a sort of overcast tinge of rain in the air? We'll find out because we've got 5 red lights, and HRA Season 9 is go. Seems like a decent start there for George, as he takes the lead into turn 1. Yes, he does. Kusky following very, very close behind. Quattro as well, well out of the battle. So it's Reese, Max, and Rules battling out here. There's a bit of an incident further down, I believe. Yes, having technical issues. Great. Let's get all of the graphics enabled and see that Ireland has had an incident in there at the start of the race. So we've got Ended and Fortnite fighting out here. Ended with a great on board to see Fortnite attacking Jaden now, heading down the straight. Yellow flags further back. Ed Veer's retired from the session. That's a big one as the Williams team boss sees his stricken car across the road. VFC deployed. 20 just became 19 very swiftly. Aston Martin 1-2. Need that commentator's curse. I've done it many times. Your obstacle for what you secretly want is George somehow fumbling. She doesn't do often, but he does. That's the thing, everyone does. There's no Verstappen, not yet anyway. He sort of reminds me of Junior Verstappen, raw pace, but just needs that level head planted on him, and as soon as he understands the in and out of race strategy, which I know I dig at him a lot for it, that's because I know how scary it is. If he sorts his strategy out, because it's already near perfect, if he perfects it, my God. This guy can go on to 3 or more titles easily in this league before someone else comes along. Or before he gets bored as we go in green here. Any drive-throughs up and down the grid? Will there be a spanner in the works? No. Sort of a good thing. But the pack incredibly close up here. As here's a bit of a fight between Lewis and Intronsic, having a little look down the inside. There's a bit of a battle here between David and Ended as well. Contact in there. Ended goes wide. He's now side by side with Lewis, who slings it up the inside. There's contact there yet again. Lewis gets half spun. The Ferrari in the mix, now lazy, looking to get back in it after his incident. Oh, round goes the Ferrari of Hampan. That an incredibly violent spin, just getting caught up on the curbs. He is round. Once again, props. A league OG following the league rules. Do not reset to track. There's yellow flags. There won't be a full safety car for this, which Ash will be loathing because of his penalty. Further down, the gaps are close all around. But it seems like a little bit of an order being established with the leaders. Although Kusky is sticking with George here, that's crucial. That's more than sticking with George. Kusky going to the front now, takes the lead of the race and moves up into P1. George looks to quickly respond by bullying the overtake, but he does not have the DRS, so he backs out of that. Further back, David S and Intronsic have just fought it out. Intronsic taking that position. FIFA's and Sammy side by side. Fortnite and Jaden side by side. There's off the road is Sammy and Intronsic, I believe, having their own little tussle, and it's swiftly becoming more than a tussle as they keep going off track. It's incredible fighting up and down the grid. Division 1 already showing its marbles. Sammy is now down to P11. The stewards surely will have a look at that. Look to the right mirror to see a Ferrari dancing down the inside into turn 1. Sammy squeezed out, nowhere to go. He's now going to be at the mercy of Ended in the Alpine, heading down the straight. Perfect view on board with Lewis, who will look to get involved in this. He's seen Sammy move from P10 to P13. Or P12, incredible defense there from Sammy. FIFA's into the pit, possible damage on that Mercedes. Wide there goes Lewis. Lazy might get involved now, too far back. Incredible battles up and down the grid here. You have to say, HRA in these first 4 laps providing plenty of action for us. And it will keep going here as Jaden is right on the back of Fortnite. To the outside, they're going to be side by side towards the S's. Who backs out? It's Fortnite, but he looks to get the run here. Oh, big snap. Very well held there for Fortnite. Incredible save there for the Alfa Romeo. Pickle now, the Haas teammate. He's in a Haas sandwich with a little bit of pickle in there and a little bit of Fortnite balls. What a combination, eh? As further back in the background, we can see a lot of cars extremely close here. Plenty of battles on offer. We've got a 5-car fight for P10. We've got a 3-car fight for P7, 2-car for P5, and it's 3-car, 4-car for the lead. As Kuski still out in front. He's leading, but not by too much. It has to be said, the gap's incredibly tight. Although a bit of a second and third class starting to form here. Jaden, start of the second train, and Intronsic the start of the third. Intronsic right at the back of the points here, so a lot of drivers with a point on the horizon, metaphorically and literally. Yellow flags further up. What's happened there? Reese seems to have gone off. He seems to have recovered it with a left end plate missing. That's going to hurt his race pace. Rules is up 2 positions now from the start. Big understeer. Reese will have to dive into the pits. A shame for his race, but with his pace, you have to say there's a mighty recovery drive about to happen. Apparently Pickle chucking up sand left, right and centre. Wouldn't be very nice in a sandwich. You can tell I haven't had dinner yet. Christ. This a decently close fight, but Maxwell, Reese indeed into the pits. Look at them 3 leaders. Another sandwich there. Towards the inside goes Maxwell, looks at it. Rules unfazed, but he's gone a little bit wide at turn 2. Got a snap of oversteer, 2 snaps, and that really hurts him. He's hesitated, and Max is pouncing here. Rules has the inside though, but Max, with the momentum, swings it around the outside, and the Aston Martin is up into P4. Fortnite now moves up into P6, but he's side by side with Jaden, who he's just passed. Now Jaden's going to have his teammate to worry about up the road. Right, looks like it's getting a little bit slippery out there, no rain, but it seems to be extremely tricky to hold the road here as Maxwell and Pickle fighting out. Maxwell and Rules, sorry, fighting out. First penalty, the second penalty goes to Hampan. Maxwell gets repassed by Rules on the non-DRS straight. Here comes Pickle, he's past Fortnite, and he's looking at the inside of his teammate Jaden, unable to do it. Fortnite has dropped down from momentarily leading this train. Pardon me, he's dropped down to P8. But that's a little bit wide there for Pickle, and Fortnite might pounce here. He's all over the back of him, heading down the main straight. This now shaping up to be a 5-car fight. No, more than 5. This spans all the way down to P13, for goodness sake. Down the inside there. Wide that is for Fortnite. He's dropped the rear end. Is there going to be anyone collected in the mix? Fortnite saves it, but I think there might be damage on that Alfa Romeo. Did hit the wall with a light contact. At that angle, this game can track up. No front wing or no damage at all. Got some tyres, please. I was gonna change to that, but it all started kicking off. There we go, tyres, and I'll keep that tyre graphic up. Genty, just for the entirety of the race, because I tend to use it anyway. Side by side, Maxwell retakes the position, and Sammy gets up past David. Down the DRS straight. I thought it was on DRS straight, but oh, inside curve, absolutely bullied it, and it punched back for David, and he's now going to have to look at end dead. No, he won't. As Rules and Maxwell fighting out yet again. These two going hammer and tong since lap 1, and it's not going to stop yet because Rules is all over the back of Max. He's had a poor last sector. It seems like Max's tyres are starting to overheat. Squirming about on the throttle, heading out the last corner, down the main straight to the inside. looks Rules on Maxwell. Doesn't take it, takes a lot of inside curb. Maxwell holds it around the outside. Brilliant defense from Max. He's now going to have his second DRS straight of the lap to worry about a pass from Rules. He's holding him off for now, but for how long can he hold up this valiant defense before he then has to pass again? You can see these tyres are on the wan. Quattro has been dropped by the leaders by 1.7, 1.8 now. You can see the F1 and F1.5 packs between P3 and P4. Incredible. But yet again, George and Tusky right on each other. Speaking of right on each other, here we go. Intronsic, Jaden and Pickle battling out here. Giving me breaking point vibes right there. As Pickle gets the beautiful switchback on Intronsic. He snuck it down the inside there. He's side by side, heading down the straight with Intronsic. Pickle to the inside, looks to hold P8 on Intronsic, gives him the squeeze and retakes P7. An incredible defense there, but he's out of DRS from his teammate. But their medium tyres will start to come into their own about now, and the soft tyres will soon drop off. As behind now, Intronsic will have Sammy to worry about, who's also on the medium compound tyre. Great race for Sammy. A great race for the promoter driver so far. Touch wood of Pickle. Indeed, Rules and Max having their fight are bleeding time here. It's calmed down a little bit there, but they were bleeding time. George has dropped back by a couple attempts here, but it's because we're not on a straight. You'll see that gap loads up down the straights, open back up in the corners. Law of physics and all that jazz that, I don't know, Isaac Newton or something came out with. And Intronsic to the outside to take the position on Pickle, but Pickle not giving up yet again. He's going to go for a switchback here. Oh, squeeze into the wall. Contact there. Intronsic giving it a bit of a squeeze on the Pickle. Didn't like that one. And Pickle gives a bump in return. That's NASCAR, and he spun him. Pickle, that, jokes aside, an incredibly rookie mistake from the debutant. As I'd like to comment on it, but there's still side-by-side action between Sammy and David. As Maxwell and Rules fighting it into turn one. That'll keep going further in the background. Sammy and now Ended going to be fighting out, so Sammy has lost 2 positions in the span of 2 corners, it would seem. You can see that gap as Jaden has actually proper closed up to Rules and Max. I didn't realise it was that bad. As a shame, while I've got time to comment on it, about Pickle and Intronsic. A great fight there, but Pickle just misinterpreting the breaking point, went into the back of Campan. That is race pretty much ruined for Pickle, but it is recoverable for Intronsic. As this battle, an incredible fight. Maxwell all over the back of Rules as well. Great stuff here. 2-car fight for the lead, 2-car fight for P4. It's soon going to be 3. We've got 3 cars fighting out for P7. We've got 2, maybe 3 in a second fighting it out for P11. We've got 2 cars fighting it for P16. Incredible here. We're on lap 11 and the fights are still everywhere. Normally by this point, Australia will chuck up a spanner in the works, and we haven't seen it yet. It normally tails off about now. There's still an incredible amount of battles on track. Wide for Ended. Sammy cannot pounce. This is incredibly tight fighting here. Sammy's lost out a little bit there to Ended and David. They're just fighting it out here. The lead stays at about half a second. Rules and Max fighting out again, and here is Jaden. The Haas has arrived on the scene. and will very quickly start making mincemeat. There's one, a mistake there for rules. Late on turning between the two S's, and that sends him wide. David has a time penalty. We are actually going to pull up the time penalties graphic here and see what the hell is going on, because there is some absolutely ridiculous stuff going on here with time penalties. 6 for Lazy, 3 for the rest of them. Into the pits comes Rules after that mistake. Must have hit the wall, metaphorically and literally with his tyres. He will change that then tyres, possibly have a new front wing as Quattro exit the pits. Behind Ended, Sammy and David's fight. Will Lazy pass him? This is going to be crucial. Apologies, controller's going to be disconnecting throughout because it still thinks the controller is the assigned controller. Just let me use mouse and keyboard for some reason. Oh well, I'm waffling. Quattro has 3 cars to pass here. Not ideal for his race. George and Kusky fighting out George. Did retake the lead, but Kusky quickly took it back. There's a bit of an ERS disadvantage over for Kusky, 30% in that fight there. David all over the back of Ended. Where does he go? To the right, to the outside, and it's the right line to take. Inside was covered, and he covers the front of you. As big snap for Sammy there, as the pressure of Quattro behind must have caused some sort of issue there. As they are incredibly close. Great side-by-side racing from the debutante. We are seeing here possibility of a star in the making. Touch wood yet again. As Sammy having an incredible race. Both leaders into the pits here, mirroring each other's strategies, as Quattro is all over the back of Ended to the inside now. You can see the leaders in front going out the pits. This is an incredibly sketchy scenario to be in as a leader with non-pitted traffic. This is going to be very, very scary for Quattro. He's got to pass his car sooner rather than later. He's passed one, as there's a mistake in there for Kusky. He's lost the position to George, and in the pits as well. Jaden leads the way because he's staying out. So that is not a net lead, but it's a lead there. It is a lead at the end of the day. Quattro right up on the back of Ended. That shows the confidence these leaders have in their braking points. That's where I lost out for leaders, drivers. Confidence behind another car, knowing they're going to brake at the right mark. He moves himself up into P4, and Sammy takes advantage of the slipstream and DRS from that fight to pass David, who's got down from P4 to P7 in a matter of a lap. Realistically though, it's P5 to P7 because of Quattro needing to move back up into position, and he will swiftly move back up to P7, P6 because Jaden will dive into the pit soon. Staying out though, opting maybe to nick a bit of DRS from the leaders, and he may throw a spanner in the works as there's a yellow flag further back. That is a spinner. I'm pressing the wrong button. That is Fortnite and Lewis seemingly round, and that's into the pit wall again for Lewis, and he is forced to cut out of the pit lane. Incredibly horrible luck there for Lewis. Lazy, was the one involved in the incident, as was Fortnite. Yeah, Fortnite was involved in it as well. Multiple cars involved in this fight. Lewis leaves the session. Clearly giving up there. Don't blame him after that. Still not ideal. As to the inside goes Intronsic on FIFA's. A nice clean move down the inside up to P13. And you can see points on the horizon. That points driver is P9 Kusky. There's something going on there between Ash and Sammy. Sammy takes position on Ash. Lewis has disconnected the car up in the distance. Won't be any threat to them. But the leaders are closed back up together because of Jaden. The traffic really helping Kusky regain after his pit stop blunder. Still right on the back of Sammy. Yellow flags further back. There's an incident. Who's around? Who's on the gravel? It's Ironland. He's doing his best impression of a lawnmower and an F1 car, but I don't think Williams makes them. They make a lot of things, but not lawnmowers, unfortunately. So Iron will have to dive into the pits as well this lap, or soon as Ash into the pits. Lewis is passed as well by Pickle, who is going for a 2-stop here, I believe. No. Yes, going for a 2-stop. Went to pit and game crash. I'll get you an invite. Sorry. Right, there's your invite. Sorry for waiting so long. I've not been hot on the chat in the stream. Apologies for that. Pickle and Intronsic fighting it out. Lewis's AI will tumble down the order, but it hasn't pitted him yet. There will still be a chance of a late race safety car. Lewis clearly knowing that in chat. Good on him for hanging in there after an incident. It's always good to see racers never give up. That is an incredible move there from David. Puts himself up into the points paying positions, but Pickle having none of it. Looks for the switchback now on the outside. Round the penultimate corner hairpin. Keeps his nose in for the final corner, does he? Forces David to take a wide line. Does David make a mistake in there? No, he doesn't. But incredible from Pickle. We are seeing the racecraft here of someone who is in a championship fight in Division 3. I believe it was Division 3, sorry, Division 2, I believe. Yes, Division 2, sorry Pickle, that was outrageous mistake from me. Runner-up in Division 2, I believe. Taken out by no fault of his own, but he's still moved up. And he's proven his marvels here. He's looking to get a couple points on the board. And he has a decent chance of that as Ended still needs to pit. Sammy getting passed by Intronsic there. Intronsic finally making his way up. Pickle will also have a fresh set of tyres coming the end of the race. I think he's waiting for a safety car. Beefers and Lewis behind him also have to pit. So there is a decent chance of him nicking a point or two here. Just has to touch wood, put it together. Are you back in yet? What? I sent you one. Oh, I'm so sorry. I literally loaded it up, sent you one. Lewis M. Game invite sent. There's another one. Just let me know that you got that one. Well, I'll see it actually. Still a chance for the Lewis M machine to make a comeback. Oh, sent a friend request, I'm so sorry. Lewis will get back in at some point. Let's make damn sure that I've sent him an invite to the game. Lewis M. Yeah, I hit enter because you're a friend. It instantly sends a game invite. Should be a game invite. If not, there's not much that I can do. There's not many battles shaping up right now. I've got Pickle and David, Sammy and Intronsic, Rules and Jaden, and then the fight for the lead. Custom George with 11 laps to go. All can be changed here. As that is heartbreaking to see Lewis dropping down the field, but he's still going to have chances. It is Australia. Crashes do happen quite often at this track. We may see one shape the outcome of the race. That was my bold prediction pre-race. Let's give that a go. Do you have two Xbox accounts playing accounts? As there he goes, David fending off Pickle for now. Sammy and Intronsic going side by side there. Hampan moves down a couple of positions in this fight here. Never mind, he's back up side by side with Lazy. Ended into the pits finally. Ah, it's saying you're online though. Check your invites. Yeah. That's why I was inviting the old account. I'll make sure to remove it after the stream. Send me a reminder if possible. Right, into the pits comes Lewis's AI. He's got 10 laps to save this race. Fresh set of mediums, fresh set of softs, and a dream. Oh no, he hasn't even been pitted by the bloody AI yet. He's been allowed to rejoin, but absolute pain in the arse this game. As Kusky still fighting out with George, struggling to keep up with George's pace at the seam here. Oh, Kusky, sorry, has passed George, and it's George struggling to keep up with the pace. I completely missed the change for that position, apologies. And Tronzik all over the back of Sammy, but not able to make any move here. So we've got David Pickle's fight. Is going to be spiced up in a second because we have Ended in the mix. Never mind, Pickle into the pits, put on his final set of tyres, a medium set of tyres it should be for Pickle. It's gambling on that safety car, it's not happened, and it may well cost him points here. And Tronzik still all over the back of Sammy, that's our closest on fight. It's our closest on track fight. About for the lead is ever changing. Still though, in the wheel tracks of Sammy. Looking to make the move. Hampan is also all over the back of Lazy. We'll make sure to keep a close eye on that battle. As well as Aretha and Ireland. Lewis, I believe, is back in the session now. Yes, he is. He's bone plumb slap bang last. But he's back in the session, and he'll give it his all to try and sneak a point. He's got 20 seconds, or like 30 seconds to find. There's that side by side I see. Yes, it is. Reese and Ireland battling out for the effective wooden spoon as we'll roll out Lewis due to connection issues. Ireland down to P18. I think Iron Man's issue setups, honestly, because of how strong he was at the start of the season. I think he's still got his original setups. He's starting nicking the better ones. As there's a penalty for Lazy. As Intronsic repassed Sammy. Intronsic will have to work for Sammy's halves, which start to come more and more into play as we go further into this race. Ended and David side by side for that final points paying position. The Ferrari and the Alpine, neither wants to yield, but the Ferrari is forced to yield by Ended's fresher tyres. Ended will now look to chase the likes of Intronsic and Sammy for P8 and P7. Hampan and Lazy fighting it out for the final non-points paying position. It's all for respect because there's a 12-second gap to the leaders. But respect and pride are huge in the lead racing community. So these two will tussle like it's a battle for P1 in the last race of the season, championship decider. If you don't battle like that all the time, Pickle looking to pass Ash here on his recovery drive after he's gone. Check race director. Has he gone for a Mr. Pickle. Medium, soft, soft. So he pitted early on the medium tyres. I think he got damaged, didn't he? Yes, in the incident. He will probably get a penalty for. Hampan's had a spin in there in the Ferrari. Recovers it at turn 1. That will allow Reese to pass, I believe. Yes, here comes Reese. After his early race woes, it's not been a race to remember for Reese. You can see his car's all over the place. He's clearly not sure it's in the right setup for these cold conditions. The tyres struggling as he's given Hampan a bit of a love tap there. Hampan clearly with damage. Reese hasn't quite clocked it. I think he has now. Side by side with Hampan and ahead. Controller disconnected. Sorry for that. Lewis M. It's a 3-second time penalty. He's just looking to chase up, not finish last. He's looking to pass that on to Ironland as Ash and Pickle. That's close, but not anymore. Pickle keeping it clean here. Props. He's driven an incredible race so far on debut. But Jaden and Sammy taking an MZ as well ahead of him on their division debut. Forget who's champion in Div 2 last season. I'll have to check up on that. Apologies to the champion. No offense. I just have a bad memory. Reese calming down a little bit, so let's talk about this battle for the lead. It's been incredibly mundane all race long. Both of them settling into their own groove, their own strategies for the end of the race. David gets another 3 seconds. This rate, he's really got to watch out. So we know what tyres people are on. Let's keep the penalty graphic there. Oh, Lazy's got a ton of penalties. And Pickle kind of has an outside chance at points. Kind of. Currently 15 seconds back. He needs to find 9 seconds in half the amount of laps. So it's not likely, but there's a chance. But these two have been not hammer and tong on track with their cars, but mentally trying to feel each other out, figure out what's going on, and building strategy as the race goes on. That is higher end league racing. And there is your spanner in the works. VSC deployed for Fortnite, who has dropped it on the exit of turn 1. Recovers it nicely. It's only a VSC, but it could yet spice up the race. We may see a couple drivers opt to dive into the pits here. Stick on a fresh set of tyres. Seems like no one's really got pit entry. Doesn't make sense for many drivers. If that was a full safety car, that really would have changed the race. But alas, VSC, just to spice things up, especially here at the front. It's all about who gauges that restart the best. All about who figures out when to hoof it. You misjudge it, you get a drive through. But fortunately for the leaders, neither of them getting struck by the drive-through. As Pickle now all over the back. That's allowed them both to get to 100% ERS, which is going to mean it's all about pure pace, as Pickle is all over the back of Lazy here. This is impossible to ignore. Pickle up into P11. Incredible recovery drive. He has 3.5, 4 laps here. Well, 4 laps. Try and find some time. Fortnite gets a 5 second for speeding into the pits. We'll keep an eye out on that fight for the lead, but we'll look further down to Ended, who has caught up to Sammy here, but with 3 seconds more penalties. 6 seconds more penalties, sorry. He has a tall task to try and close up. Fonzik has dropped Sammy. Incredible fight all race long. Maybe room here. Jaden has an outside shot at sneaking P5 here. So stayed out late. It's allowed him to keep his tyres in good nick for a while. Lapping a car there. Yeah, quite sure lapping someone. Oh, there we go. Ended and Sammy. Ended passes Sammy, but now has 6 seconds to find. Before he can settle into that position. He'll get at least P9 Ended, but he's going to look to push on and up that. Pickle keeps his nose clean. He is closing by the amount that he needs. Remember, he needs that gap under 6 seconds, and then he'll be looking at debut points in Division 1. No short order. Sammy's actually sticking with Ended here, using him as DRS to possibly even close back up to Intronsic, if you believe. That would be spicy. No real other fights, barring the game that Pickle is playing with David here. 6 seconds he needs. Not been closing, in fact he started losing here. So I hope he's starting to lose a little bit here for Pickle. But he's still looking at it, still gunning for it. In the words of Theresa May, he is a fighter and not a quitter. Oh, sorry, Liz Truss. Hopefully he doesn't resign 2 weeks later or however long it is. Let's say Sammy Do at the start of the stream said that he was cooking, and he has been cooking up a storm in this race. Currently 6th in P9, but net P8 because of Ended. 6 seconds of time penalty. Pickle may also see a late race penalty. In fact, will 99% I'm sure see a post-race penalty. That's wide there for Lazy. Ash will sneak past. Pickle will probably see post-race penalty. He will know that. But he's still pushing on just to get his name on P10. At the end of the day, that mistake cost him to be in that position. So for him to get back in there, despite the mistake, incredible. Intronsic gets past rules. That's one hell of a recovery. Kuski's still out in the front of the field. We are now going to stick with the leaders. Just going to change my song because I've been listening to the same song on repeat since the start. Okay, penultimate lap of the race then. These two all race long have been fighting it out. George took the pole by 3 attempts, but Kuski has had the race pace. And they are half a second between each other. The DRS from that lapped car is going to really, really make things interesting here. We've got 1 lap and 1 lap only between the first race winners. Ash is out of the race. Ash is out. He was out of the chance of a points finish after his collision earlier on with Pickle, as Ended and Sammy battling it out. Sammy retakes the position on track for the final lap. Here we go then. George and Kuski, as it was last season, it is this season, fighting it out. Quattro, once he was dropped, sort of settled it into a decent groove there, and he's just going to look to bring it home for P3 here. Maxwell may even lose out the position to Jaden on debut. But for the lead, these two, Hammer and Tong, all race long. Just half a second separates them right now. Will it be the reigning champ, or will it be the runner-up last season, kicking this season off how he would like it to start? Last season he had the benefit, and George had the benefit of a poor start to the season for Kuski. Oh, sorry, it was the other way around. Kuski had the benefit of a poor start. So that's a car being a lap there. That's Mercedes, probably Lewis. As through the last sector, it's not looking likely here for George. He's having to settle here for this position. A position that he doesn't really want to be in, but towards the final corner, he's not really going to have a choice because it's been George in qualifying. But it's Kuski in the race who will take the checker flag and win the first race of the season. It's Kuski P1, Red Bull P1. As we saw so much last season, these two 1-2 by a firm margin. What an incredible mental game between them. Quattro comes home to take the checker flag and finish P3. He'll be absolutely elated with that, as is the team boss for Red Bull. A5, Christian Horner has seen his team get 1-3 and score the highest points out of any team, because their main rivals this season have just lost their place because of a corner cutting penalty given to Maxwell. So Jaden on debut for Haas. A Haas in the top 4. Incredible to see. Great start to the season from Red Bull, kicking it off as they would like it to go on. Red Bull 1-3, but look at that gap at the top, 2 tenths. This is going to be a close one. I think George knows it, and I think Kuski knows it. This one is going to be the tightest season we, touch wood, have ever seen in HRA. And we've had last lap showdowns for the title here. And A5 firing out a warning shot in the chat. Red Bull Racing are coming for everyone this season. And you have to say, after a team performance like that, in a grid like this, you have to say, that ain't hollow. It's got substance. And the substance currently has just delivered a 1-3. Defying the laws of physics. As always, Kuski on the top step takes P1. Lifts the trophy and will spray the champagne as our first winner of Season 9. After the heartbreak of last season, he's looking to pull a Rosberg in 2016. And not just beat his teammate in equal machinery, but everyone else in equal machinery. He kicks it off with a P1. But yet again, 2 tenths. But despite that, he looked the better driver all race long. George did not have a response. Still got to get to the end of the season, CLDS Racing is saying in chat. And that is the point. It's not who can hold it for one round. It's who can hold it for a season. And that is what's on the horizon for us, as spectators for Division 1. But for now, Kuski will lead the championship. And all I can say is roll on round 2. And an incredible race. The fights up and down the grid were absolutely beautiful. Them first 12 laps had my voice feeling like it was going to break before lap 15. It sort of tailed off as it always does around this track. Pickle unable to get that point. He was, in the end, 4 seconds off of it. He will probably receive a post-race penalty for that incident. In fact, I know I've been saying I'm not going to assume penalties, but there will be a penalty for that. 100% slam dunk. As a steward, that's a penalty. Red Bull is kind of dream team, says Quattro in chat, and that is what I was about to get onto. The best squad, the best driver lineup in HRA. They dominated last season across the board. They don't think they won one of them, but they outscored every other team combined. Well, every other team by 100 points. So the next best was Haas, who were like 140 behind them or something stupid like that in total points across all divisions, not including realistic. But to say Maz is nowhere near as quick as Kuski and George would be true. And yet he beat both of them. It's all about playing the cards that you get. Unfortunately, Australia did not deal a good hand for those with lesser pace. but it dealt a good hand for us as spectators. It's been another incredible one in HRA, as it always is. So I'll end it off on a high note and say thank you very much for joining me. I look forward to seeing the rest of the season go off as this one has started. If every race goes like this, I'll be elated, but I just know there's more here. And we'll find that out next week. We'll see you then. Thank you very much for joining. See ya!